right now I'm sitting here and I'm worried because I'm with George, and I know I'm going to goof up his last name, so George is going to save me no matter what. But I'm going to give it a shot.
Go for it.
Tsuchnikas.
Tsuchnikas.
Tsuchnikas. I have a tough enough time with English, my own name, so I'm sorry that I got yours wrong.
I can say Hank anytime.
Okay, good. I can say George anytime. I know we're even.
We'll go for that then.
Hey, we're really kind of lucky here. First of all, I got to thank George because he really didn't want to do this interview, which I can understand being stuck with me. But George does operations for Ace Cafe, and they're out of England. Of course, everybody knows London. And as you and I were talking, you're just not in London. You're all over the world. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, yes. I'm basically from Ace Cafe London. I'm one of the directors. Primarily it's me and Mark Wilsmore, my partner, which you interviewed him yesterday. And we run the Ace Cafe. And as it happens now, we don't just run the Ace Cafe London, we run the Ace Cafe around the world. We have licensees in several territories. Recently we opened Lucerne, June of this year. So Switzerland, Ace Cafe Beijing, China, frequent visits to China. We have an Ace Cafe in Finland, north of Helsinki. So we go there, no matter if it's minus 25 or plus 30. We've been in the same spot with minus 25 Celsius and plus 30. And now we come to Orlando often enough because of the Ace Cafe Orlando soon to open, January. But this show here brought us here since day one. We come every year and we attend Barber Vintage for the last 4 years we've done that. And besides that, we do 60 events in a year from Ace Cafe London.
Wow. So, if I get this right, you're expanding globally.
Yes.
We're lucky enough to get you here in Orlando. Is there any other spots in the States that you can tell me about? Now, I know sometimes you can't.
First of all, we're privileged to be in Orlando. USA has been on our scope for a long, long time, and we finally made it. We looked at a lot of cities before we came to Orlando, and Orlando had to be the first one and the flagship. But we do have on a drawing board now another 5 cities that we work for, 5 territories, no cities. In Europe primarily, it's not a secret. We're looking anywhere, everywhere. Russia is on our target, and Far East and many other countries in Europe, so conversations have taken place.
What I really like about that is it gives people someplace, like if you're from London and you go to Lucerne, you can go in and say, hey, I just came from the Ace Cafe in London, or if you're in Beijing. So it's kind of like you're bringing people together and you're using the motorcycles as an avenue, and the friendship and the music and the food. They all just tie in.
Well, you see, the petrol is really what brings us together. Speed.
Yes.
Speed, the adrenaline of speed. And we also go to the TT, to the TT in May. You go there and you stand in the TT, and within 5 minutes somebody's going to come, hey George, how are you? I saw you in Barber, or I met you in Lucerne, and you won't believe it how many Americans come to the TT every year, you know. And it's, you could be sitting here having conversation with you, Hank, now, and I could be having the same conversation probably with you next year in TT, in Isle of Man. And it's just, there is no boundaries for you guys, the motorcyclists,
I used to race a little bit, nothing spectacular, but I used to love to watch the guys at TT, because you look at them and you go like, man, those guys are like crazy. I mean, when they come flying over those hills and you can see them just hanging in there, and it's like,
I know.
And I mean, your heart just goes out to them, going like, man, I wish I had the guts.
Well, Valentino Rossi says, we are top line racers. We are really good at what we do. But the guys in the TT, they got bigger balls. That's what he says. He says that. And I tell you what, they just turn around, the helmet hits the hedge. And it's just incredible what they do. One mistake. And it could be your last one. It could be your last one.
I agree with you on that one. Well, I got to say, first of all, thank you for coming in, George, because I got to tell you.
Pleasure.
You're a lot better than you think you are as far as your interviews. You were great.
I don't have license. I don't ride the bikes. I just make sure that my partner has the bikes to ride them.
That's outstanding. When you come in, I want you to call me, And my son and I are going to take you out to dinner, and if Mark's there, and we're going to have some laughs and talk about some good old times.
And I'd love to look after you and your son down to London anytime you come over.
No problem. Thank you so much, George.
Wonderful.
All right. The big opening's coming up. I'm going to say, and I'm going to take a rough guess on this because I hate to put times on it, but I'm going to say January. Sometime in January, we're going to have the biggie here in Orlando. George will be here. I'll be here. You better be here.